Hello everyone, this is Andrew with Plugged In. I have Fernando, Wesley, and Matt with me as well. We're very excited to bring you our first episode, and I really hope you enjoy it. How do you guys feel about the concept of pay to win? What are your concepts of why it matters or why it doesn't matter? What are the pluses and the minuses? What do you guys think? I
Should we
mean,
just outright be like, well, it's straight up gambling in some cases?
it
Just hit the
is,
worst part about it.
but that's the good. We have the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I
Yeah.
mean, there's good behind play to win, and there's pay to win. Wow.
I'm more interested in the good. What's the good behind
Okay,
play to
so
win?
here's
Besides
my,
winning, because you're the person spending all this money.
not necessarily that portion of it, but say you're playing a game with somebody. We'll take Fortnite for instance. Matt and I've been playing for a while. My wife and his girlfriend just started playing, so we're leveled up to a point where they're trying to catch us. So say it's a concept of that where you have to wait until you're the same level to play with people, kind of like Destiny. You had to be certain levels before you could do certain missions. It gave you the option to jump to where you wanted to play with your friends. If you've already ran through the game, say you got the game on PlayStation and then you got it on Xbox as well, you played it through on PlayStation, you don't want to do the whole process of playing the entire story mode again on Xbox, so you're paying for that jump to get you to where you want so you can play with your friends. That's what my thought is on the good behind pay to win. Which I guess I mean, everybody's
No,
got
that's
their own
fair.
concept of it. They've got their own ideas.
No, I think that's fair. I was just genuinely interested if there was any good from that. I've only seen bad stuff on it.
And there is a lot of
I agree
bad.
with that.
There's a
Honestly,
lot of bad.
is like maybe those that don't have time to play all that. If they can, I mean, it still sounds like unfair and unbalanced. But that's the only closest thing to a justification I would have is if you didn't have the time to do it. If you're too busy in your life and you want to play where your friends are at or get what your friends have, pay for it, sure. But it's still kind of like I told you before. It kind of feels like a spoiled kid's way of gloating to the rest. That
I
I got a
think
certain
I think your
smart
words were rich man's invention.
a rich man's invention. That's what it was. But that's kind of, I mean, that's what it feels like. Just because for those that really sit there and dedicate their time to like earn a diamond skin, AK-47, you deserve it. You spent so many hours getting like headshots or whatever, while I could just like buy it and I got what you got. Like,
And I think
uh,
that's delving into the bad side of things where, you could do all this hard work to achieve something and then someone just turns around and buys it.
pretty
It's like
much.
that
Yeah.
that's the part that I disagree with
You know what I
is
like though, and not that this is a pay to win necessarily, but like Rainbow has that system where everything is free, but you have to grind your ass off for it so you can get to that character or weapon, or you have the option where you can buy it. I actually don't mind that so much, but if there are restrictions as to there's certain very legendary like items that only time itself and can buy it, not actual currency or anything.
because you have
So.
that with their uniforms and stuff, right? Where you have to grind out for that stuff. You can't
I
buy
think I think
that.
in Rainbow you can buy the credits to get it.
Oh,
I
that's
believe, but I'm
stupid.
not sure. I haven't played it lately, so. But I know that's what it was. Where like while like, I think at the time Manny was like buying the maps for the season passes. I was actually just grinding it out and just was able to actually purchase every character through just experience, and that's it.
But
I
does
So
think
that
that's
make you
what
feel
made
better though?
games. I think
it made me feel better. Yeah,
definitely.
it
That
did.
that feeling of actually working to beat something and to actually unlock everything in a game versus
Yeah.
just spending 19.99 on it.
But on the other side of that though is that made me feel good when I had the time to do it and my attention was on it. But when I started playing Overwatch and I stopped playing Rainbow so much, when I would see Manny had all these characters, I'm like, I don't got time or I don't care enough to grind it out, and I had to buy it because I was like, I don't want to sit around and wait. Like it made me feel bad for not having the time to earn them, so I would just turn around and buy it, because I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. So there's kind of two sides to it, but overall, ultimately, you do feel better about grinding it out and getting it yourself and just earning it. So, but
My opinion, I think that as long as the game is, I won't say creative, but as long as it's always been that way and it makes sure that everybody knows that that's available, that's a big difference between a game having an update randomly, where all of a sudden, like that's happened with other games, like RuneScape, the game that I still play, sort of did something similar, like RuneScape 3, where you could just like buy this, like I forget exactly what it was, but it's like a wheel, like you spin a wheel, and it's like gambling, and they lost a lot of members that like didn't like the direction it was going. The thing is like at the end of the day, video games, they're just a business like anything else. They have to make money. Um, not every single video game. I guess indie games aside, most good video games are gonna be backed by investors, and there's a time and place for the pay to win stuff, and there's people that get filthy rich off the pay to win stuff. But in my opinion, the ethics behind it and the longevity of your game is that you want to make sure that it's something that is released from the get-go, and that you're not just kind of dropping a bomb on people, because I've seen games get destroyed by just that coming out of left field. You know what I mean?
I think if they did like I don't know if there has been games that do it where if they give you a not necessarily like a grace period, but a time frame of, hey, this certain item is available for so many weeks or months before it's available for purchase. Maybe there's that's like the closest thing to a middle ground where you can actually gloat about, hey, you can't buy this right now because it's in that grace period, and I grinded it out and I got this camo or this person or whatever. And then a month later or 2 months later, hey, it's finally out, you can purchase it now. And at that point, you got your gloating period, you got your moment of like respect or whatever, and then that moment passes, and then them buying it doesn't mean anything to you because you got it first before them. So I'm not sure that I've seen that, but potentially maybe that's a way around that where you can still get your buy to win. You can still, if you don't have time or if you just want to be the rich man's son and just buy everything, guess what? You gotta wait, buddy, before you get that diamond skin. So.
And there's certain games that literally that's what they are pay to win. Like they're just games that you dump money into, and it's quite literally
Overwatch loot boxes.
Yeah, but those aren't even pay. What are you talking about? Those aren't even pay to win. Those are pay to get skins, and
that's the cosmetic aspect. But
yeah, that's I love that. I love when it's pure cosmetics. Rocket League is the same thing. You literally, oh, big deal. You got a Rick and Morty antenna. Like that's not gonna help you win anything. So that I'm cool with. You can spend all your money just like Josh did, buying keys and boxes or whatever, and get all look sexy as hell. I'm still gonna smoke you. So. I'm cool with that. No, make your money that way, so that works.
Which I think Destiny is on to the way that they've done things, where you have the quest for, we'll call it their exotic items, so you can grind out to get the weapon, but then they have Zur, which is their shop. Like he sometimes sells the exotic weapons and stuff that you're trying to get, so you're not buying it with actual cash, you're buying it with game currency that you earn in game. So you still have that aspect of you're playing to grind out for those coins that you have to spend, but it's not necessarily the same process of grinding out to get the weapon itself. And that's one thing that I think that a lot of games should start going to, is you can earn the currency in game, kind of like V-Bucks on Fortnite. A lot of people don't look at that. They say, oh, I'm not buying the battle pass, it's ridiculous, I'm not spending the money each time. You don't have to spend money each time. You can literally spend the money the first time, get to tier 100, and earn enough to buy the pass the next time around.
It's true. And with V-Bucks, specifically for Fortnite, you can earn it too. You can earn enough to get that season pass, so there's that option as well.
I think that's a pretty good alternative to everyone saying it's just gambling. Being like, well, work for it. If you want to, I guess you could hit the lottery, just pay for it, or you could just work for it and get the same thing.
I like that concept.
But then
a lot.
Does it completely undermine the work? I feel like that's the ultimate argument, is does it completely undermine the work of the people that actually do the work and grind their asses off just to get a season pass or
a rich man's invention.
Well, see, and I've had those people that, like, I'll be honest, I bought tier 100 before, and it was like super early in the season. Well, that's the thing. You have to pay for each tier, and I had a bunch of V-Bucks already, so I just used my V-Bucks to buy it. It was like I had like 2,400 V-Bucks that I had before I got to tier 100, because. So I used it, and my buddy was like, wow, you're tier 100, you paid for that, blah, 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 blah. And he had a hissy fit, and it's like, dude, why do you care? Like, this doesn't make me any better of a gamer than it makes you a gamer for not being at tier 100. So that's where I like the people that get butthurt over cosmetics just need to get out.
Yeah.
Get out. You know, if you're gonna complain about it, then don't play anymore.
Yeah, when cosmetics, I mean,
complaining
when
was,
it's a
though?
factor of it just making no difference whatsoever in gameplay, then it's like you shouldn't just shut up. What the fuck?
But unless it's
Stop.
GTA. GTA with the when they came out with the shark something
The
or whatever
shark
it was.
cards.
Oh yeah.
Shark card update. Once they did that, I feel like that kind of ruined a lot for me. Was because we used to grind it out all night doing all these stupid
Yeah.
missions, and it didn't help when they would fix or they wouldn't fix it. They would basically make it to where you couldn't quickly repeat a mission, so you had to go through loading screen, loading screen, and loading screen just to get back and do it again. And then they came out with those shark cards, and it's like, man, like now you can spend real money to get fake money to like get cards that you normally have to grind for, and now it's like here's $10.
That made me feel like I didn't want to play the actual game to get regular money. Like,
Literally, it
I
kind
was
of
just
takes away
like,
that
dude, it
aspect.
just ruins the fun
But
of it.
to be
At
fair
least
though,
with that game
they've
specifically.
been out for years. That game's been out for years,
Yeah.
and it's not like they did it after a year or two. It was like I don't know how many years after that they finally were like, hey, now you can use your real money. Like enough people have played enough of GTA thoroughly where, sure, go ahead, spend your real money on us now at this point to go ahead and
Right.
get better cars or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
I did have a side question with currencies and all that. What is the most you spent on a game?
Oh, I straight up bought the $100 shark card on GTA before.
You paid $100?
Well, not myself personally. So
What do you mean?
I
Explain.
used
Elaborate.
so elaborating. I'm a big fan of rewards programs, and I used all my points to buy $50 gift cards to Xbox. So it was $100 credit basically to Xbox. I used that to buy.
But it was like in the sense of actual money, it was $100.
It was $100 worth, yeah.
What was the rewards?
Like
through Xbox?
Through Xbox, yeah. So you sign up for the Xbox reward program, and you
okay.
can
Yeah, I
earn
know what you're talking
points and redeem those points for currency to spend in the store. You can buy Xbox Live and things like that. And I rack it up, and
So
it's like
instead
there's
of
a new
buying a
game.
brand
Like
new
I've bought a
$60
brand new
game.
games before, and I'm like, at the time I was like in high school, and it's like I get money all the time on this game or on this stuff, and so I knew it was Christmas time, and I was gonna be getting some gift cards and stuff. So I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna buy $100 gift or $100
So
shark card.
Andrew at
And
100 then, even
So-
though it wasn't actual money, I guess, but still, it's 100 you could spend elsewhere. What about you? Weaselmania.
Oh
How's that?
god. I honestly, I don't game enough to justify me purchasing anything other than the games themselves. But I will say I spent $4.99 on an expansion pack in this little tech deck game I have on my phone. So
I spent $10 on that one.
Is
it
if you wanna, I
True
guess if
Skate
you
or
wanna do
whatever?
that, like $5.
It counts.
then I guess.
It's a game. Mine's a
Yeah.
True Skate. I spent I think like $10 or $15 at this point.
Touch grind, baby.
Okay, gotcha. All right,
Yeah,
Matt.
for real.
What about you?
I would say for me, probably, I would say I've spent somewhere north of $1,000 to $1,200 on RuneScape throughout my whole life that I've been playing between membership and buying gold.
Okay.
Which
Wait, you
that's-
have to pay to play?
for membership
Uh,
stuff, yeah.
There's a free to play and there's a pay to play, and so I'm counting like the membership, which it's fluctuated throughout the years. It used to be as cheap as $5, now it's 10. Unless you buy it like in bulk, you can get some small discounts. But I've been playing this game since I was 17 years old, so like that might seem like a lot, but
Yeah, over how long? I guess.
a long time. But I would say I've purchased probably just gold coins, which obviously is like in other games like for like items and buy items and believe it or not, gamble is what a lot of people will do in that game with coins too. But yeah, probably $1,000.
$1,000. Damn. What would you say was the most like within the year, like peak?
Probably a couple hundred, I guess. It's
Couple hundred?
difficult because it just they go through stages where we were just like doing a lot of gambling, so we were spending a lot of
God,
money. Like if you do good, then you win. You don't need to buy it. But then if you get we called it cleaned. If you get cleaned, then you need to do it. So there's like on this game there's like a whole black market like with that type of stuff.
So now I know why
Yeah,
Matt
black
doesn't
market.
pay for games. He likes to do the free to play games. He's like, I
Well,
got to do the free to play so I don't break the bank.
I don't like paying for games because I never stick like every time I play the same 5 games.
See, I
never
guess-
different.
would we count like DLCs as well then at that point?
Uh,
Then
we can't do
season
that.
passes?
We can't do that because I spent way too much money on Destiny.
Okay, so if we're not counting season passes, then I feel like the most I've ever spent is between $20 to $30, and it's either, because I know on each it's close. It's either on Clash of Clans over the years, or Fortnite, like when it first came out. I remember buying like the season. No, the actual V-Bucks or whatever.
Ironically enough, so I have like, to just kind of, sorry to cut you off, but like, so the top known games for pay to play or pay to win, Castle Crashers is, or not Castle Crashers, Clash of Clans is one of them on the list that people think is one of the best.
For sure. That makes perfect sense.
So that's one of those games that people don't mind paying that money for those games, and it's like, oh, I can see that. I spent some money on some gems to get some more builders to build up, and
That's literally what it was.
that's everybody knows that. Everybody knows, hey, you got to have the builders because you're gonna be sitting there waiting forever if you don't. But yeah, so according to Game Designing, the 3 worst pay to win are APB Reloaded, Dungeon Keeper 2014, and Neverwinter. I've not played any of those games.
Neverwinter?
I've
Dude,
never
I
heard of
haven't
any
heard
of
that
them.
name in such a long time.
I've
Wow.
never heard of those games, honestly.
Neverwinter is like a Dungeons and Dragons game. It's decent, but it makes perfect sense that it's on that list because it's bad with its microtransactions.
And then we have the best. So the top 3 that are the best is MapleStory, Clash of Clans, and Warframe. I played Clash of Clans and Warframe, and I can see Warframe as well. I've definitely been there.
Wasn't a fan of that though, to be honest. But
Do you guys think it's more accessible to get those purchases on something like a mobile application? I'm asking this because I'm also going to bring up the fact that like kids that take their mom's phone and spend like $300+ on an app without even realizing it.
Oh, absolutely. And there's the way that they build their purchasing stores. Have you ever played a game where you go to the store just to see what there is? 'Cause you're like, everybody's like, they got to check the store out to see is it reasonable, or you're like, screw this, I'm not touching it. You go and you click it, and then the top item, which usually you'd think it'd be chronological from lowest to highest. The top one is the very highest item, and then they have the lowest one right next to it. I'm sure so many times that kids click the wrong one, thinking they're selecting the lowest one, and that's the way they design the apps because they want people's money.
Right. Another game that I've been playing right now is they just came out with the Wastelanders update for Fallout 76. I've been playing that, and that's still got a lot of microtransactions in it. Mostly, I mean, the ones that I've seen are pretty much cosmetic, or they just give you like tiny boosts in the game. But how do you guys feel about it on that kind of level, where it's like in Fallout 76, it's an X amount of players spread over this massive map? So are you really getting the same benefit as if you were doing it in like oh god, I don't know, like Call of Duty or Overwatch or anything like that? I guess in Overwatch you don't get a benefit, but
not necessarily. I think that with having more spread out, it's kind of like it kind of what I think of is like Rust. You're paying for more. If you had the option to pay for more kits on some servers, I think that's a thing where you can pay for kits on various servers. I'm not 100% sure. Matt may be able to answer that one, but
point me to
that would be like me saying, "Oh, I'm going to spend this money so I can have another base." But then again, it's pointless because you're going to be wiped out in a week anyway.
Right.
I mean, it depends though, because what if paying that extra $5 or $10 for like a basic set of tools helps you advance further, or it's like you pay $10 for a starter fight kit.
But is it really worth it? Is it one of those things that I can see if it was recurring? So after they do a server wipe, because server wipes are weekly, so you spend that money and then boom, you lost it.
In my case, I justify it because like Matt is probably really good at that game because he plays it more than I do, right? So he probably knows how to navigate easily through the woods and water and how to escape people and how to pick faster and get your resources quicker, while me still learning how to play it. I can't tell you how many times I've died before I finally make myself like an axe or a freaking sharpened stick or something like that. So if I could pay $5 to get a weapon, one single weapon to defend myself, I probably would do it, like here and there, just so I can get at least a better chance of surviving that week-long before the purge.
I think those are
Well,
called
not only that,
spears, by
You
the
have to
way.
buy it.
The
What
sharpened
happens
the
if you
sharpened
buy
stick.
it and it ruins the training of you learning those skills in game.
It does. That's see in that case, that's like that whole rich kids mentality. I need to stop calling it that, but it,
Richie, we'll just call it the Richie Rich.
the Richie Rich. That's a Richie Rich mentality because it's like, oh no, I don't want to spend time to learn this. Let me just buy my way in, and that's what it
Right.
is for me. I like the game, and there's been times where I have succeeded in actually building my fort and actually getting some weapons. But damn, when you die and they take your stuff and whatnot, it's like a terrible feeling, and then you got to start all over.
That's
It's like
fair.
it sucks, and that's what turns me off from that game is I don't want to do this all over again. Somebody literally just let me there die, slowly, and then to come back and be butt naked and trying to get my weapons back. So that's my justification for that. So I'm definitely not completely against pay to win. I just feel like it's circumstantial.
Yeah, but the cool thing about like on Rust servers, there's a like, I mean, first of all, this is a pretty niche example. I mean, because a lot of these servers like have like 50 to 100 people playing on them, and they only have that option so that oh, welcome back, Fernando. They only have that option for like quick cash
Sorry, I
grab
pressed the wrong
type
thing.
shit. But yeah, and like Andrew, you mentioned earlier that you thought it was kind of pointless because the servers wipe. But I mean, I think the same case could be argued for pretty much any game.
Yeah,
If
that's
you get on
true.
Fortnite, all you're really doing is wasting time. Any game, all you're really doing is wasting time. And by wasting time, I'm not saying people can't make a living or do this and do that, but the end goal is all the same, I guess, is what I was gonna say. To some people that have limited time, it's them being able to fork over a tiny bit of extra cash to have some fun, have a more level playing field.
I think it just kind of all goes back to how much you value your time. If you don't have the time to spend on the game and you have the chance to pay to advance yourself to where you want to be able to play with others, that's the huge value. So, also we're just gonna try to keep it going here. I don't know if you guys got to see the link for the game news. We're now counting down to the release of a new Assassin's Creed, so I don't know if anybody's a fan of the Assassin's Creed games. They were calling it.
Creed.
So Game Rant had on the 29th. This was like right before they announced the game. It was going to be set in like the Nordic era of when the Vikings were rushing into England and taking over their land. So that was going to be called Assassin's Creed Ragnarok is what they were thinking. Then later that day, they ended up releasing it's Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is still pretty freaking awesome. So basically what it's going to be is you're fighting for the Vikings trying to conquer England, and this is I don't know. I watched the clip. I watched the video and my jaw was dropped the entire time. I was like,
Excited.
this is awesome.
I'm excited because, and it's weird. I'm not into Vikings like that at all, but they kind of make me want to get into it. I have not been into an Assassin's Creed game since Unity, and only because Unity came with the Xbox. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have purchased it. It wasn't a terrible game. Terrible story, I thought, but gameplay was dope. But other than that, my favorite Assassin's Creed is Revelations, I think it is. And ever since then, I just haven't been interested. Syndicate, I wanted to, but I didn't. This is the first one I feel like I actually will pay $60 to play, because what I really liked with the storytelling on that trailer was how the guy who was speaking about the Vikings, I guess, was like they were monstrous, heartless warriors or whatever. But yet, in the actual video, you're seeing how like they're really caring, and they're just normal people that care about their people. Their culture,
family.
I don't know.
Yeah,
their family, and
it
they're
hits
not
on
vicious.
that. It hits on that so big because
Yeah.
what you're doing is you're basically building your life on this
And it's-
land. And I don't know if you guys got the chance to check out Black Flag, where
I have it, yeah.
you had the island that you have to basically upgrade stuff. Like I'm wondering if they're gonna do that kind of aspect where you have
I would
your
imagine.
territory and you have to go get things and then you upgrade. Because I've been playing Odyssey, and it's a great game. They changed the mechanism or the mechanics of it after Syndicate, because they went from one thing to Syndicate. I wasn't a fan of Syndicate because of the game mechanics, and then playing Odyssey it feels more fluid. So I
I like the
it.
setting in Syndicate. It was kind of cool, but not enough for me to purchase it. Although I probably would right now, it being cheap or something.
Why can't we talk about why Assassin's Creed sucks so much?
Okay, give
Why
us
can't we
your
talk
thoughts.
about that?
Wow, where's the vote
I
to kick
hate
button on here?
Assassin's Creed. Dude, story is so long and convoluted. The controls are shit. I hate Assassin's Creed so
See-
much. I played the first game
Feelings are
for an
hurt.
hour and a half, and I was like, I couldn't.
Wait,
I
which
could
one?
probably craft something out of my own poop that's better than this game.
But that's the thing. All
Disagree
the
with that.
it's one of those games that you like as you play it. There's other I dislike some of the mechanics in some of the games with
Which
Odyssey.
Assassin's Creed were you talking about though?
He was
I'm
talking about
the
in
first
one.
at that point, which
Assassin's
ruined
Creed 1.
everything for
The
me.
first one, you
Ruined
cannot use the
everything.
first one to compare.
Wesley, here's my
No.
recommendation. Play
You had
play
to
Black
tell
Flag,
my first impression, and you ruined it.
play Black Flag,
Ruined it.
and then play Odyssey. Those are my
Not
top
even.
two.
No. Don't even go to Black Flag. I feel like Black Flag. You would have to be some kind of a fan of either A, Assassin's Creed, or B, that type of like open world
Pirate
extra
ships.
building. Like,
Oh man, I love
You-
the
you
pirate
have to
ships
be a fan.
aspect and
Don't
just
get into it.
plundering
like it
people.
Because I am a fan, but it's just there's a lot to do in Black Flag. I would literally recommend you either play Assassin's Creed 2, Revelations, or Brotherhood. One
2
of those
was-
three in that pack.
You're asking
Yes.
a lot.
2 was actually
That's
pretty
asking
A
decent.
lot.
Number one is I thought was trash personally. Like it was cool in its time, but I cannot play it right now. I could play number 2. I can play Revelations. I can play Brotherhood.
I would actually
play
agree
number
with
one
number 2. Number 2 is kind of where it drew me into wanting to play more Assassin's Creed games.
It was good. I thought in order literally 2, then Brotherhood, then Revelations. Revelations is my favorite one. But a lot of people say that 2 was like the one that kind of made it all. So I would recommend it just because like it's like saying hot dogs are ass, but because you got a hot dog from like I don't know the corner of Walmart off the ground. It's like I hate hot dogs now because there's a fucking
Dude.
rat poop on it. Like no, you gotta go get like a gourmet fucking hot dog. Go get that fucking Assassin's Creed 2. 'Cause
No, I'm not gonna play
that's-
gourmet Assassin's Creed because gourmet Assassin's Creed is great value. Anything else?
Great value is better than no value, son. But okay. I respect
So-
the opinion, but your opinion's based off of some doo doo. So let's just-
Wesley, what I'll do is here's what's gonna happen. Okay, when
We're
I
gonna
get
kick you.
when I get Valhalla, because I already told my wife, hey, Christmas time, pre-order that crap for me. That's all I want for Christmas. So I'm definitely getting the game whether she buys it for me or not. You're coming over and we're gonna check it out. The only thing that I have to say to disagree with your take on the convoluted stories is yes, it can get confusing, but they've gone further away from jumping in and out of that time, because that's what a lot of the story behind a lot of the Assassin's Creeds, where you're working for Abstergo, you go into the time of the era that you're with, and then you're back and forth, you're trying to figure out the stories. I started playing Odyssey. I don't even remember the last time I wasn't in the mode of the character itself. So they do. Odyssey is the last one that I think that I've played. I wasn't too much a fan of Origins. I liked it. It was great. But Odyssey has been the one that I quit playing it for a while. I started playing it again. I can't put the controller down to play it anymore. I'm stuck into it again. So there is a lot that you can do, and that's why. Would you rather spend your time on a story that has a good storyline to it, or would you rather spend your time playing a touch grind app on your phone?
Anything that has to do with touching, Wes is like count me in, dude.
No, look.
Touch
I
grind?
appreciate a game with a great story. I don't appreciate a game where it makes me think beyond my fucking wits end.
There's a lot less.
So
So
a story, okay? You hit a line, you hit a board slide, then you hit a 50-50, then you do a kickflip off. That is an amazing story. There was
Bro,
so
you
many
can't even
triumphant,
kickflip.
like,
Bro,
there is a
you
lot
can't
less.
even kickflip.
There's a lot less of the puzzle solving in the newer games.
my
They went
overall
away
thoughts
from
on
it.
that,
So
though, I'm excited for it. Like, period. I'm actually excited for Assassin's Creed. It's been years, so.
and I like where they put the hidden blade this time, because normally the hidden blade's on the inside of the hand. When you throw your hand up, it's like under your
It's
wrist.
on the outside.
This
now,
time it's on the top of his
Yeah.
hand, so it's like a fist. Like he's gonna punch somebody in the face, and then boom, it's there. So
So you're
I'm
telling me
excited.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla has extreme fisting.
extreme.
I would say they're Vikings,
the
so
max.
you know,
All right,
I
I'm gonna
mean,
give it
Like they grabbed the volume
You said
and they
that I
did
can
and
come over
they
and
did
play,
this.
right?
They did this. They kept doing this. They turned that to the max. Okay.
Wesley, just go watch the Hulu series
Assassin's Creed poop.
Vikings.
I mean porn.
And then you just get your idea of what the game's gonna be about. So,
Perfect.
but yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the whole aspect of raiding. Like, I hope that they do have like you basically can just raid and pillage these villages and
That'd be
destroy
sweet.
absolutely everything.
I haven't looked too much into Valhalla, so I'll have to.
So I'm excited for that. Another thing that I think is really cool, just to keep my Odyssey on the high horse, is you can kill anybody.
You kill children.
You can kill children. You can kill anybody.
What?
And
My God,
on
I'm
Assassin's Creed games, that's frowned upon. Like, you kill
It
a
really
person or a
is.
civilian. Oh, this person didn't kill civilians in their time. No, they straight put bounty hunters on you, and they're chasing you down like you're fighting these bounty hunters, and they've got lions and bears and stuff just trying to eat you as you're on top of this cliff, and you just Spartan kick them off the cliff, and they're dead at the bottom. It's awesome. And then the villagers, if the villagers see you, or like any of the civilians see you start fighting people in front of them that's not a soldier or an enemy, they will start picking up like brooms and stuff and chase you down and start
But
trying to
they
fight
don't
you.
compare to like those villager looking guys from Minecraft. Man.
Oh,
those
absolutely not.
raiders, oh my god, they fuck you up quick. So let's not go there.
All right. So, yeah. So I'm excited for Valhalla. Let's take a look here and see. So, I guess we're gonna go with the desert question or desert island question. Fernando, you got a desert island question for us?
On the spot, yes, because let's just say my week has been hell being in Kansas. So this is the last thing on mine, but I do got some ready.
Okay.
Desert island question: if you had or were stranded on a desert island, what type of desert, in the sense of a gaming world, would you want to be stranded on? Like, out of all the games you play, whether that be a Minecraft like kind of skyblock like location, or we're talking about that new what's it called, Animal Crossing, or freaking Zelda, I don't care. Like, what gaming island would you want to be stranded on? Including everything though, including everything that occurs.
Kind of game? What gaming island? That's a. Hold on, I can't remember the name of mine, but hold on.
Assassin's Creed.
I'd be Destiny Islands from Kingdom Hearts. That's
Okay.
where I'd be, man.
I can
Destiny
see it.
Islands. You're telling me I can be in Final Fantasy and the Disney universe? I can be a Disney princess? Are you telling me? Dude,
You can be inside a Disney princess.
what?
That
PG. Whoops.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
I know what your mine is.
What's yours, Fernando?
Oh, mine? So again, a gaming island from a video game. I'd pick Delfino Island from Mario Sunshine.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I would love
sick.
that. Yeah.
Just any place in that game would be fantastic.
Oh hell yeah! But that place it's just so fruitful, you know. Just so like,
Yeah.
I don't know. You got big chubbers type of guys that are hanging around all dancing and hula hoop or leaf hula hoop thingamajiggers. Although there'd be no women though, but you get Yoshi. So
I hear he's got a long tongue, so.
ooh.
Andrew, what about you?
I would honestly, well, I don't want to say Odyssey because, like, you have the boats and you can go from area to area.
But I mean, in the sense of just being stranded on an island. Remember,
Okay, well then I'd say Minecraft.
you do a Minecraft.
I would do a Minecraft island because you have the freedom to do what you want. You know, if you have a few villagers on there that are just like, hey, we got stuck here too. We took a wrong turn because this guy has his eyes that are right over his nose and can't see, or, you know, he doesn't know how to drive a boat and he crashed into this giant polar bear out in the river over by this desert. Wow.
What did you? This giant polar bear?
There's
out
polar
in the
bears in
river?
Minecraft, dude. Did you know that?
Well,
There's
yeah, but I'm just
So-
trying to hear that sentence and make it make sense.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Like with Minecraft, you could have if depending on the island that you're on, you could have every single biome and be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the beach today, and the weather doesn't change there. So you're like, you decide
No,
your
you
weather.
get rain. You get rain.
Okay, you get rain and snow, but
You
I'm
get
talking
rain,
about
snow.
temperature wise, it's the same.
You don't know. You're not Steve. You're not in that
Well,
world.
I'm not, but those villagers wear the same thing all year round.
Come
So,
on, man. Come on. Have some empathy. Put your shoes
and
on.
all I
Like
gotta
Steve.
do is you kill a few skeletons, and then find myself a wolf that wants to eat my face, and just put a red collar on him, and I'm good to go.
Okay. You go. What about you, Matt?
I'm struggling to think of like good gaming islands. So
He wants
It's such a
Fortnite.
weird
He
question.
wants Fortnite.
Yeah. First thing that came to mind was
Fortnite.
like a paradise would be like one of those Mario Kart maps where like you're on an island racing.
Oh yeah.
Kind of felt like paradise. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
that.
But can you deviate from the racetrack?
No. I mean, at that point, Well,
the
see,
only way you
like
can
that's
go
what
is
I
either
think,
forward
yeah.
or reverse in this racetrack.
He's like, hold on, let me
You can't,
rethink
like,
this question
go
here.
through
Hold
it.
you
on.
can't reverse because that guy holds a sign up saying you're going the wrong way. So
Yeah, well, I mean, you can ignore
So-
him. He's just annoying.
It's an island. You're not gonna go that far anyway.
So is that your answer then?
Yeah, that's my answer.
He's
Okay.
stuck in a go kart for the rest of his life.
I mean, those
Yeah,
go-karts
Pat.
look pretty fancy. Have you seen them?
Some of them, yeah. Unless you got like, oh well, I mean, if you got like the Link one, that little horse or whatever,
Yeah.
that'd be nice. That'd be nice. But yeah, it got me thinking of islands just because of the whole, Animal Crossing. That's kind of like, popular right now.
Fair enough.
I feel like a ton of people would say that. Honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do on Animal Crossing, but I would still choose Minecraft because who doesn't want to design their own house? Like, screw you, Tom. I'm not
just want
spinning
the-
any bells on my house. I'm
I just
gonna
want
chop
that
this tree down
jetpack,
and
dude.
boom.
Well, give me a water jetpack and I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Fine.
What is that thing?
He's
Oh,
gonna
that thing?
he's gonna be out in the water. Check this out. Shooting around in the air.
Perfect.
Thank you everyone for listening to our first episode. Be sure to like and subscribe and feel free to share with your friends. Please comment down below what type of gaming desert island you would want to be stranded on. Thank you all for staying plugged in.